Did you know that the people you are intimate with can have spiritual ties to you? Can you imagine how high your partner's body count can be? Makoto is living the life, dates about 10 men before she hits 28, goes to parties, goes drinking, even starts an OF account. I mean, she's making money, she's having the time of her life. In her mind, she always thought, she never needed a man. Things were going great, she's feeling bold and confident and free and all sorts of things. But there comes a point in everybody's life where they decide that, youthful fun is over, let's be a little more serious. By the time she turned 28, she was like, I'm done with this lifestyle, I'm done with the clubbing, I'm done with the partying, I'm done with the men. I want to take myself more seriously. I want to slow down, I want to find a good man, I want to give my life to Christ. Just be more calm in general. Leave all of that helter-skelter past behind her and become more serious. So she starts going to church. She eventually met Bongani. They met at church. They hit it off instantly, and they were really getting serious to the point of wanting to get married. But they decided that they'd discuss a little bit of body counts, past experiences, past relationships, just so that they make sure they're on the same page. Bongani admitted that he had never been with anyone. He's a virgin. And Makoto decided that, she was only going to admit that she'd had 4 boyfriends in the past and had only been intimate with one of them. So it is on that statement and on those updates that they built their life together. They got married. They had a blissful marriage for the first 1, 2, 3 years. Everything was going fine. By the 3-year line, their marriage is not going as well as they had hoped. Both Bongani and Makoto had been wanting a child. That wasn't happening. Their businesses and job was struggling. They weren't getting the money they wanted. They were on unstable footing. They and themselves were kind of arguing a little bit over a lot of ridiculous issues. Eventually, Makoto reached out to her mother and said that, things have not been going well. We're struggling. We want kids. And her mother said, you guys should focus on your relationship, talk to each other, and see how it goes. Another year passes, and during this year, Makoto does fall pregnant, but she loses the child. And that happens several times within that 1 year. At this point, both of them were completely devastated because now nothing seems to be working. It is putting a strain on their relationship and marriage, and they can't find a way out. Again, Makoto reaches out to her mother and says, look, Ma, it's been horrendous. We are struggling. What else can you advise us to do? And Makoto's mother says, okay, you know what? Go to church. There is a pastor. Talk to him and see what he has to say. So both Bongani and Makoto head over to church. They're part of church. They do praise and worship. The pastor preaches. And you know what? They start to feel a little more lighthearted. Things start to feel a little calmer in their spirits. Towards the end of service, the pastor calls out and says, wait, I'm feeling something. You 2 individuals, please come to the front. Let me pray for you. Bongani and Makoto step forward. They come to the front. The pastor prays over them. They also start praying. The pastor says, you guys have an issue. There's a reason why you guys came here today. He continues, in this marriage, there's a 3rd person sitting in between the 2 of you, hindering your progress individually and together. You must find out who this 3rd person is. This 3rd person is somebody one of you has slept with. And this 3rd person has created a soul tie marriage with one of you. It is hindering your real marriage. It is hindering your progress. You must find this person, identify them, and have them release you from this imprisonment that they've put upon you. Hold up. Wait. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now let's go back to the show. Now, he then lets them go. By the time Makoto and Bongani reach their house, they're confused, perplexed. So they sit down and discuss it. They're like, wow, pastor has called us. He prayed for us. What he had to say was a little odd. Bongani says, well, me, as you see me, when you married me, I was a virgin. We all know that you had one previous partner. So could he be the one? So they discuss it a little bit and they start praying about it. And the following week, they go to church, have a private meeting with the pastor and tell him, oh, pastor, this is who we've identified. Please guide us into knowing whether this is the right person and this is who we should contact. The pastor said, this is not the person. There is somebody else. At this point, Bongani is looking at Makoto. Makoto too is looking at Bongani, saying, what's going on? The pastor said, there's another person. This person, he's an owner of a club. So you people should go and find him. The couple take that information back home with them and it becomes a fight. Because who is this owner of a club? Who is this person? They start throwing arguments and accusations back and forth because explain yourself. Bongani says, look, Makoto, you can search my life from beginning to end. There is nobody in my past, and most definitely not a club owner. So explain yourself. By this time, the argument had gotten so heated that Makoto could do nothing but break down. She broke down crying, begging and pleading, asking for forgiveness. Bongani says, ask for forgiveness for what? What is happening? Explain it. Did you cheat on me? Is there something I don't know? Explain. Makoto said, oh no, I've never cheated on you. It is just that I wasn't fully honest about my past. Before, I was reckless. I did a lot of things that I regretted. I didn't want to tell you. I didn't want you to see me differently. In my past, I've had more than 4 boyfriends. I've spoken to a lot of men, have been intimate with a lot of men. I also even had an OF account, but I stopped it. I closed it. I deleted all that I could delete. I didn't want this to carry into our marriage, but there might be some truth in what the pastor has said. Bongani says, what? Who is this person? She goes, look, there was a very good subscriber. He happens to own a club. I can see if I can reach out to him or find the contact details. So they begin their search. Contact details, accounts, messages, anything to find this person. And thankfully, they do find him. So they find a way to contact this club owner. They reach out to him. They speak to him, explain that, oh, you know, we want to invite you to an occasion. Please join us. It takes a lot of convincing because this man does not know them from Adam. But he agrees. So they end up waiting for another week to take this man to church service with them. Now, this man follows Bongani and Makoto to church service, and he sees the church service. He's like, what's going on? Why have you brought me here? They said, oh, don't worry, we'll discuss this after the church service. Just sit with us. They sit through church service, and suddenly the pastor looks up and says, yes, the 3 of you that I've been waiting for, please come to the front. So again, they are dragged to the front. The whole congregation begins to pray. The pastor begins to pray. They start speaking in tongues. And the pastor says, I am delivering you from this spiritual marriage. I'm delivering you from the spiritual bondage to each other. Go now, be free and sin no more. By the end of the church service, the guy is feeling a little awkward. He's like, look, y'all must be done. Let me go about my business. Bongani and Makoto feel relieved. They feel like a weight has been lifted off their chest. They feel so much more at peace. So they go home. And you know what? A few days, a few weeks after that prayer, things start to get better. Bongani's business starts to pick up. His job is a lot more secure. He's making a little bit more money. Makoto too is doing better. She's getting more clients. Things are starting to finally look up. But not in every category. One evening, Bongani sits Makoto down and says, look, we are doing better. This soul tie situation is finally over. We can finally start our lives. And Makoto is excited. She's like, oh my gosh, thank God. Yes, this is great. And he says, but that's not it. You lied to me. You deceived me. You made up stories. You didn't tell me the truth. How can I stay married to you? Makoto starts begging. I'm sorry. Please don't leave me. I'll do everything you want. I'll always be honest from now on. There's no more lies. Bongani is not sure. He's still contemplating how to take his marriage forward, if at all, and what to do next. Now that's an entangled web. And that's all I've got for you guys today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on our YouTube platform at Entangled Web Stories. We post every single Saturday, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!